let's take a look at our top selections.
The second of two graded stakes races on Saturday at Santa Anita is the Grade 3 Robert B. Lewis Stakes. 3-year-olds going a mile and 1/16 on the main track. And it's only January, but this race came up quite deep. This race, the Bob Lewis, leads to the San Felipe Stakes on March 6th, followed by the Santa Anita Derby on April 3rd. And then the survivors out of the Santa Anita Derby will move forward onto the Kentucky Derby, which we assume this year will be run in the month of May. Let's take a look at the field for the Bob Lewis. It's race number 7 on Saturday at Santa Anita, and a deep field, a field of 8. And you can make a case for a number of horses in this field. The most accomplished in the field is number 8, Spielberg, but he's honestly not that fast. We'll talk about him in a minute. Wipe the Slate is stretching out off an impressive maiden win. We have the Breeders' Cup juvenile runner-up in Hot Rod Charlie, and a host of good horses. Medina Spirit gave Life is Good battle. It's a very evenly matched field, but when all is said and done, the horse to catch is a fast son of a gun, and he's breaking from post number 7, and his name is Wipe the Slate. Wipe the Slate is a son of first crop sire Nyquist. Nyquist is off to a phenomenal start as a stallion. He was a Breeders' Cup juvenile and 2-year-old champion winner for trainer Doug O'Neill. He won the Kentucky Derby the following spring, and his first crop are stone runners, including Wipe the Slate, who is trained by O'Neill, owned by J. Paul Redham. And in the second start of Wipe the Slate's career, well, let's take a look and see if you are as impressed as I was, because he dazzled. It was a sprint race going 7 furlongs. He'd finished second in his career debut, Wipe the Slate did, second to Life is Good. And second time out, like many second start maidens, well, he improved a ton, 17 buyer points. He won by more than 3 lengths, and he ran away. Now, the runner-up in this field is a horse by the name of Affable, who entered the winter with high expectations. Affable came out of this runner-up finish to finish second again in his next start, some 14 lengths behind a horse named The Great One. So I'm not sure that Wipe the Slate beat a whole heck of a lot. But we do know this. He's fast. He uses his speed. From where he's drawn, he can either go to the lead or press the pace. And the only other apparent pace rival is down on the inside, a horse by the name of Medina Spirit. I like Wipe the Slate to wipe the slate clean in the Bob Lewis and race gate to wire, but I'm not convinced that he has to win because, like I said earlier, this is a deep field. And the most accomplished horse in the field is the horse on the outside, and his name is Spielberg. He's the most accomplished. He's a 2-time Grade 1 placed in a couple of Grade 1s. He won the Grade 2 Los Alamitos Futurity last time out. The knock on Spielberg is this. He's just not very fast. His career high buyer speed figure, and I know it's only January and they're only 3-year-olds, but 6 starts into his career, you'd think that Spielberg would have popped with a career high buyer of something higher than 83, but that is his career high buyer. And I just wonder how fast this horse really is. Well, let's take a look at the Grade 2 Los Alamitos Futurity that he won last time out. And he did, he's a grinder is what he is, Spielberg. He grinds. He's usually there. 6 starts into his career, 2 wins, 2 seconds, a third. And he was up to win by a nose over a very stubborn horse by the name of the Great One. Now, the Los Alamitos Futurity was not a particularly fast race. The final time was 42-2. Spielberg earned an 81 buyer, getting up right in the shadow of the wire to drop a nose on the Great One. Now, one reason why maybe that speed figure is a little less relevant in this case is because the horse that he defeated, the Great One, came back last week and romped by 14 lengths with a 92 buyer speed figure. So that maiden win by the Great One, here it is. It was last week, and he won for fun, the Great One did. 14-length victory. He left Affable reeling, and he drew off like a horse that's going to make some noise on the Kentucky Derby Trail, Santa Anita Derby Trail, as spring unfolds. This is the Great One who Spielberg defeated last time out. Now, the Great One improved a ton, and we might be inclined to say, well, if the Great One can improve that much, why can't Spielberg? There's no reason why he cannot. He's been freshened. He's coming back off a short little layoff, and he should get better as he improves. But the fact that the Great One improved so dramatically last time does not ensure that Spielberg also will improve likewise. So I'm not sure about Spielberg. I know that he's a good horse. He's a graded stakes winner. He beat a good horse last time out. The only thing that just nags at me is that he's not particularly fast according to speed figures. So I'm not sure what to do with Spielberg. There are other contenders in this field, including number 1, Medina Spirit. Medina Spirit won his career debut in front-running fashion, and it was a pace-pressing front-running fashion, and it was a sprint race. But in his second career start, he took back off the pace, and this was in the Grade 3 Sham Stakes, in which Life is Good, his stablemate, was heavily favored. Let's roll the tape of the stretch of the Sham Stakes. On January 2nd, Life is Good is supposed to win this race clear. He's out there cruising. Medina Spirit's under a drive, grinding. What's the margin going to be? 4 or 5 lengths? Well, not quite. Life is Good either lost interest or got tired, and Medina Spirit came at Life is Good late and made it relatively close. Now, the final quarter mile by Medina Spirit was 25-2. So that rally, that stretch rally, was partly an optical illusion. But here's the thing about Medina Spirit. He's quick. He showed that in his career debut, going 5.5 furlongs at Los Alamitos. And from the inside post, jockey Abel Cedillo really has no other option but to go from the rail to avoid getting shuffled out of it. Not only that, but Baffert usually instructs his jockeys to allow their mounts to use their weapon, which is their speed. So I expect Medina Spirit to bust out of there from the inside post, and that potentially could compromise number 7, Wipe the Slate, who I think is the controlling speed of the race. But if Medina Spirit goes, maybe Wipe the Slate can sit second behind him. I still like Wipe the Slate. I'd like him a little bit more without Medina Spirit in the race because their pace should be legitimate. Okay, another horse that again don't know how to do, know what to do with. And we don't always have every answer on every horse in every race. And the only thing you can say about number 5, Roman Centurion, is that he did what a good horse does second time out, and that is improve a ton. In his career debut, he finished nowhere, 4th by 12 lengths. But second time out, January 3rd in a maiden race, take a look at Roman Centurion on the outside through the stretch, and tell me if this horse isn't getting good at the right time of year. He's a son of Empire Maker out of a Bernardini mare, cost $550,000 as a yearling, and he put it all together in his second career start. Roman Centurion drawing away to win by nearly 4 lengths. The final time was not all that great, nor was the speed figure. He earned a mare 80 Beyer speed figure. And if you're going to knock Spielberg for only having a career top of 83, you at least have to recognize that Roman Centurion's career high at this point is an 80. But he jumped up 15 points from start 1 to start 2, and who knows what the ceiling is for Roman Centurion. He scares me, and he could slip in through the parimutuel cracks and maybe start at a price because, as we all know, speed figures rule the tote board, and speed generally rules dirt racing, at least out on the West Coast. And that's one reason why I like Wipe the Slate. Last start, maiden sprint winner to take the Bob Lewis Field wire to wire in race number 7 on Saturday at Santa Anita.